Hey everybody, welcome back to the 1RC YouTube channel. Just wanted to give everybody an update on the channel. This is it's a little hard one to make. I've had to take some time off from doing YouTube. I didn't step away from the website completely. If you follow along with the website, we're still posting news articles and things there pretty much every day. But I have stepped away from the YouTube for a little bit. June 21st of this year, we lost my baby sister. She was 18 years old, and she battled 17 years of her life with various health issues, and we lost her kind of suddenly. She was in the hospital for about a month and a half, and she came home with a trach, and it was about the best week she'd ever had. And after 7 days, she passed in the middle of the night on us, and it's been kind of hard trying to find the want to, I guess is the best way to put it. I haven't had the desire to come out here and pick up a camera. I'm sorry that this is kind of low energy, but it's just kind of hard to find that passion again. I haven't wanted to pick up a transmitter. I haven't wanted to pick up a camera, so took quite a bit of effort to get out here this evening, but I did receive an email today from a viewer, Carl. This one's for you, buddy. Kind of got me motivated to get up off the couch, get out of my funk, and give you guys an update. I do apologize that it has been so long. I have been working a little bit behind the scenes, trying to get a few things done, but it's been slow and steady going. First thing I wanted to talk about today, I did get Herbie fixed. All of this is from one fall off of the shelf that he lives on. Body mounts survived, body survived, thank goodness. But Herbie, he yeeted himself pretty hard. But you can see I've got everything reprinted and put back on the car. And where he's going at my house, he will be on a proper shelf and not just a temporary workspace like where I'm at right now. So hopefully he'll be a little bit more secure. If I wanted to reprint everything in PETG or something a little more durable, I could probably run him. I mean, I could probably run him now with just the PLA parts on him, but I don't want to risk it. Like I said, one fall and it took out... I had to reprint the suspension arms 4 times. It took out so many of them. It snapped the rear shock tower. Well, now let's see here. That's the underplate for the extension. I'm trying to look through the camera and do this. It tore off the upper shock mount. It snapped the lower mount that goes to the bulkhead. I mean, it did a number. These 3 pieces right here make up the chassis extension. And this will kind of play into what you had asked, Carl, about the progress that's going on with the front-wheel drive drag car. I have a set of these printed out completely. And what these do is this adapts a Bandit Rustler chassis, either one, both work, to be used as a low center of gravity chassis on a slash. And this one is broke, obviously, but you can see where it would mount to the chassis, and then on the other side it would obviously mount to the battery box on the tub. Well, there's 4 extra holes, or 4 sets of holes, one on each side. And what that's going to be for is to mount a steering servo directly down through this. So the chassis extension will house the steering servo with a Stampede style bell crank with the 2 steering servo mount, the steering linkage mounting points on the servo horn. And it will be a direct steer setup just like a Stampede 2-wheel drive. Placing more weight over the front tires, taking more weight off of the rear that we don't really want. For front-wheel drive, it's going to be a lot better setup. Problem being, these aren't the right length. I got these files off of Fangs, I believe. It's where I found the link, and they work perfect. I've got them on Herbie. I've got them on a dirt track car. I believe that's the only two I've got printed right now. Anywho, they work great. I mean, they work exactly how they're supposed to. It's the exact length you need, and it's a fairly strong setup until your car jumps off of a shelf. The problem is the front-wheel drive drag car needs a much longer piece to be the same wheelbase, if that makes sense. The way the rear suspension is on that car, it makes use of a longer extension piece, which let me pull the car down and we'll take a look and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, we're back here with we got the front wheel drive down off the shelf here, and that little clicking you're hearing is actually I thought these were pretty awesome. These are a set of parachutes from, kind of hard to see in here right now, but set of parachutes from AJC Mods, and I've used quite a few of their 3D printed parts. I really like these things. These are kind of cool. These are the non-functional ones. I've got enough going on with the radio system as it is. I didn't need to add a, well, that would be, I think that would only be a 4th channel, but anyway, neither here nor there. Okay, so the front extension piece now houses a bell crank, which runs all the way back to the steering servo in the back. You've seen it before. So we'll be moving the steering servo to right here. We'll come down through the bottom, and then the Stampede servo saver will go in place of that bell crank. But the problem, as we can see here, there is there's the piece, and you can see how much too short that is. Problem being, the file that I have no way of editing it. I'm just now teaching myself how to use Cura to 3D print things. I can download files and print those. I can change the sizes and things, but I can't manipulate certain sections without affecting the whole thing. What I mean by that is, yeah, I could make it longer from here to here, but that would make the distance between the holes different, or it would just make the holes ovalized, which I don't really want. The same would go with either the lower portion or the lower chassis piece, which this is what this sandwiches the chassis with and screws into. So this would need to stay the exact same size, so that's no big deal. This would need to be longer, but I have no way of saying I need it to be 15 millimeters longer between this point and this point. It would just make 15 millimeters all the way across. So I'm gonna have to teach myself another piece of software. Everybody tells me, try Fusion 360, try this, try that. Every piece of software I've looked at so far has been prohibitively expensive to use. We're talking $3,000. Some of them are $3,000. So if I can find one that is, either open source or free to use, that I can teach myself to use, then I'll make the changes and reprint these. What I would like to do ultimately is print these in the shape that I need, the size that I need, and then transfer all of this to aluminum and have, a much stronger piece, because this piece is dang near bulletproof. I've smacked this car into curbs, tires of real cars, you name it, it's hit it. And it's tough as nails. It's just ugly as homemade soup is all. And it doesn't allow me to mount my steering exactly where I want it. So that's just one little change that I do want to make, and that'll help clean the car up a little bit. So if anybody out there knows of a program that can do that or can point me in the right direction, I'd really appreciate the help. Beyond that, the car is still in the same shape as the last time it was ran. The hot racing locker is still holding up really well. I really like this with a lock differential. The Proline Big Daddies are still in pretty good shape despite doing as many burnouts as it has done. Electronics wise, everything's holding up great. I do have a gyro equipped receiver in it, which can be a little bit of a help. Haven't really had to tune that much. The car's very stable. It doesn't tend to try to wiggle at all, but if it ever does, I can turn the gain up on that and correct that out. So Project What's front wheel drive, still kind of the same. Like I said, just looking for some help with 3D printing programs. So on to the next new project. Okay, up next we've got our little Infraction Mega. Still rocking the stock body. I love the color of that body, and frankly, that's one of the things that drew me to this car. I am not the biggest fan of the 4x4 platform as far as working on it. There's a few things about it that I don't really care for. I think it could have been made simpler, but beyond working on it, I love driving it. These are great little cars. I love my Senton 4x4 Mega, and I really I love this car. Since the last time that I ran it, it has received a 10BL 120 speed control from Hobbywing and a 43, I think it's a 4300. Let's take a look down in here. Oh God, crap, hold on. Sorry about the jump cut there. I just about dropped the phone trying to read what was written on the end wheel of that motor. This has got a Rocket 540 4300 kV 4-pole motor in it, and I run this setup on 3-cell, and it is an absolute rocket ship. I love this car on a 3-cell lipo. It was kind of underwhelming with the stock 9-turn brushed motor, but with the brushless setup, a good 120 amp speed control, this thing is a lot of fun. One thing I will say, poor stock tires don't stand a chance. They're wearing quite quickly, and they do not offer much traction at all. And at least in the places that I've ran the car so far. But sorry about that. I had to turn around. But we do have a solution for that in the form of these Proline Vector mounted wheels and tires. And those wheels look so nice. And I think that's going to be the answer. This thing geared properly should push the upper limits of what those tires can handle. But I only run this car on road. I'm not going to ever pretend it's a rally car. It sets too low. But, I mean, I've seen people that have, and more power to them. But I like my off-road cars for off-road, and I'll keep this thing for street bashing and things. But in addition to a new set of wheels and tires, we've also got I know I just got through saying how much I liked the look of that shell, but I think we can agree that we're going to like the new Mustang a little bit better. I was going for GM Kryptonite Green on this one, which was going to be key lime over Spastix Chrome. Didn't quite work out the color I wanted. It's a little, the chrome doesn't show through as much as I had hoped. I'm thinking that going with a pearl green instead of a key lime. The key lime gets a little too opaque if you put 2 or 3 coats on it. This one's got 2 coats on it and it's too opaque. I'm hoping that by using the pearl green, it'll be the right color after the first coat and more chrome would show through. So on a future body, I'll try it out, but really love the look of this body, and can't wait to run the car. And on top of everything else, it should be slightly more aerodynamic than the squared off refrigerator of the stock body. As much as I love that body, do not get me wrong, I do. but I think this will help take the car to the next level. So that is about it for the infraction. Let's see what else is new on the bench. Okay, I'm not sure that I can even back up far enough, but over the winter got a Summit. I've wanted one since these things were first released, and finally got my hands on one. Wasn't even sure what to expect, but the first time I drove it, I absolutely fell in love with it. This truck is almost completely stock. It's got the red tubes push rods, and right now it's wearing a set of 3.8 trenchers. I'm doing some tire testing, find out what I like the best on it. The stock tires were really good. I really didn't have a whole lot of complaints about them, but I like my Proline tires, and I've got a set of these, and I've got a set of Badlands that I'm going to try out. But I got the Proline Gladiator body for it just to match the little Gladiator that's on the Granite Mega, or no, wait a minute, what is that? Granite Voltage, not Mega. Lord of mercy. You can tell it's been a long day. So I just wanted the big brother, little brother theme between the two. It, of course, painted up in the U.S. Postal Service theme. And this one's name is Snail Mail, because it's not, it's not super fast. So I thought Snail Mail was a pretty appropriate name. Like I said, it's completely stock. I've got a Hobbywing 880 dual ESC for it, in case the EVX2 ever craps out. I run it on 4Cell, and I love it. I mean, it's a great truck. I didn't think that I was going to like it as much as I did as a basher. Fundamentally, as a crawler, I don't need another crawler. I have several solid axle rigs, and this just isn't going to be able to compete with those because it is an independent suspension truck. What I have found that I love is taking this to just random terrain areas and then run it with the diffs open until I need them. And then when I get in a situation where I get stuck, lock the diffs and out we go. Great example is there's a small creek that runs behind my mom's house. On the creek bank is some pretty deep, loose sand. Got down in that, buried it up in 2 tires because only 2 tires were pulling, locked both the diffs, out it came. I mean, that's what this truck is for me, is just to go out, and it doesn't matter where I take it or what terrain is there, I know that it'll be able to handle it. So that's what this truck will be inevitably. I'll upgrade things should they break, or should I see a need to upgrade, but it's so good in stock form, I don't really feel a need to do so. So, why not? There's the lens. Sorry about that, guys. Can you tell that I've been away from the camera for months? One thing that I did pick up, and I think you guys are going to find this kind of funny. I'm going to take the price tag off of it, because if you see how much I paid for these, you're gonna hate me. But, well, if I can get the price tag off of it, you may just end up hating me. Yeah. Tell you what, doesn't matter. Anyway, got a set of Creighton 8S tires. And 24 millimeter wheel hexes, stock wheel hexes. And I have 3D printed 17 millimeter splined adapters to go from the Traxxas splined hex, and that will fit the 24 millimeter hex on here. Now, the preliminary testing I've done, these will not fit on stock. These won't fit stock hexes. The thread depth isn't quite deep enough where the nut goes on. I've got a set of extended hexes that have longer threads. Those seem to work. I will be able to actually get the nut on and actually screw things down to where they're secure. I don't know how it's going to like that big of a tire. It's going to be fun. It's going to look good. I do know that, but we'll see how the drivetrain and everything handles those. I know the tag says $10. Nobody else, they were there for the last 3 or 4 trips that I've been to the local hobby shop, and I asked the guy, I said, what's the deal with these? He said, well, nobody wants the stock tires off the truck. Everybody upgrades them to either Pro Lines or, something else. And I said, man, $10 a tire. He said, if you want them, I'll give them to you for $5. So I got a complete set of wheels and tires for $20. Please keep your hate comments to yourself. No, I'm just kidding, guys. It's just, it was just a buddy deal. One of those things where right place, right time, and I decided to bite the bullet on it. So that's snail mail. Up next, we'll take a look at the Arrma Granite Voltage and all the changes that have happened with it. Okay, with this little fella, we could zoom in just a little bit more. This is the Arrma Granite Voltage. Little El Cheapo intro. I won't say El Cheapo. It was the entry-level truck that we reviewed last year, and it's a great little truck. Like, I was really surprised. I didn't expect as much out of this truck as it gives. Once I was done reviewing it, I was like, let's upgrade it a little bit. Let's see what this little thing can do. In the upgrade series, we switched it over to a brushless setup. It's also got a Hobbywing Quick Run 10BL120, and I think this one's got a 3800 kV in it, so a little bit milder of a brushless setup. This has a 3D printed rear bumper. Actually, it's a rear bulkhead support that adapts the rear bulkhead to use a Traxxas adjustable wheelie bar from one of their 2-wheel drives, which after running it a few times, I didn't think I would need it with the mid-motor design and being as low of a center of gravity as it is, but it actually does. It actually wheelies quite a bit on stock tires. Now that we have these Proline demolishers, these are Demolisher 2.8s mounted on Raid wheels. They're 6x30 wheels with their wide hexes. Now this should show you just how small this truck is. That is a wide hex on there, and it's still that narrow. I had to cut the fenders off of the Proline Gladiator body for a Stampede. So you just saw snail mail, brushed motor, and everything. My brushless truck is express mail. Big brother, little brother, I couldn't resist. I did the graphics along with the masks for the paint myself. I've been doing vinyl now for over 20 years, and I love doing vinyl graphics, do them for cars, businesses, things like that. I've done them for people's front doors, welcome signs for people's front doors, like stuff as weird as that. So just kind of where my heart is, but I really enjoy this truck. The Arrma body clip tethers, I think, should be included with every vehicle that Arrma produces. I think these things are like $5 shipped from Amazon. I would gladly see them not include a battery that we'll throw away and drop the price. That would save not only on shipping cost because of the weight, but it would also save them having to sell us a battery we don't want. And include stuff like this. So, Arrma, if you're out there listening, I'm not saying you're doing a bad job. I'm just saying, maybe don't include that nickel metal battery that we don't want. And then offer, completer packs. If somebody wants to run a LiPo in it or wants to run a nickel metal, sell them that and a charger. It just kind of makes more sense to me that way. But that's just me. I really like the body clip tethers, so Arrma, please include them with everything. Body clip the world, I guess. So, body clip tether the world, that is. But that's all that's changed on this little guy since the last run that you've seen. Ran a few packs through these tires, and they are not showing signs of wear yet. You can kind of see they still look brand new. I clean them with Simple Green, so there's quite a bit of scrubbing time that's gone into making this truck look as good as it does. Again, great little truck. Highly recommend it. Doesn't even need a whole lot of upgrading. If you have somebody in your life that's just getting into the hobby, or a kid, it's a great first truck if you can still get your hands on one. So that is about all I have for you today. I'm sorry this is such a long video. It's again, with losing my sister, things have just been a have been pretty bad for me and my family around here. So RC just didn't really place too high on my list. But I do appreciate anybody that's come back to watch. Thank you for your support. Thanks for your questions, comments. If you have anything like that, drop it below. I definitely try to respond to everything. Even if I don't get to it right away, I will get to it. Don't worry. We do thank you for watching, though, and hope that you have a great day.